I'm hoping that this audio will be decent. I've got the little wind muff on my Rode, but I haven't actually tested it in the wind, so this might all be audio. We'll find out. All right, what is up, guys? Brian Elliott here, and today I'm doing some location scouting for a fashion film that I'm going to be doing with Ukrainian Fashion. Got a couple of fashion designers from Ukraine who are going to be supplying some really cool stuff, but I want to try and find a location in Kansas City, of all places, that sort of looks like Ukraine, or at least can kind of evoke that feeling and doesn't look too Midwesty, because I'd love to evoke that kind of Ukrainian flag colors. Obviously today is insanely cloudy. So here's one possible location. So I'm right by what this little location is a pump track. So basically you ride your bikes, you can do little jumps and stuff. You know, we got some of that pretty trees in the background. We've got some of that grass. We can also do, you know, kind of some interesting stuff here. So this quite possibly is one location that we can get some neat shots at. Here's another potentially interesting angle. It's actually really nice to kind of just like be in nature for a little bit. It's kind of a cool stump. It looks like, I'm not sure if it was hit by lightning or burned or what, but that's kind of a neat little landscape here that's actually pretty cool that I like. So this may be something that I'll use. All right, it's getting a little more windy, blustery, nasty. But I'm going to check out this other field that I think is probably going to be a more primary shooting location. But this kind of has, I don't know, a little more of that, not actually like wheat and grain, but more of that feel like you get with the Ukrainian flag. It is shoot day. It's a beautiful sunny day outside. Super excited. I think this is going to be super cool. I've got all the models lined up, all the outfits lined up. We're going to be starting around 6:30 and going till about 8 o'clock. Really hoping that the park's not too crazy busy. It's really big, so odds are, even if the spots that I have picked out are occupied, we're still going to be able to shoot. I'm going to be shooting this on the FX3, of course, and primarily probably on the Tamron 28-75, because that's my lightest kind of medium telephoto lens, and I can shoot on the gimbal at, you know, 28, at 35, even a few shots at 50, and then get a little bit more telephoto on the 50-75 range for some more static shots. I'll be using the GlideCam HD2000, as I do on most of my shoots, for the Steadicam / gimbal-y type shots. I sometimes call it a gimbal, but it's a Steadicam. I am stoked about this shoot. All right, guys, so I finished the Ukrainian Fashion shoot. It went really well. It was really fun. We had one designer, 5 models, and, you know, obviously it was fantastic. It went really well. Everybody had a good time. All the models were actually Ukrainian, which is exactly what I wanted. I really wanted to make sure that everything was absolutely as authentic as possible. Every design was designed by the Ukrainian designer who lived in Dnipro up until a few years ago when she moved to Kansas City. So everything is very authentic. It was really fun. It was really simple. I didn't necessarily go in with a super detailed shot list. It was kind of like, okay, let's take each model on their own and get some Steadicam shots of, you know, the dress kind of going in and out and up and down and around, and, you know, got a little creative with some of the models, like that stump. Used that for one of them to get some interesting different shots. Probably about 90% of the time I was on the Steadicam. I used the 28 to 75, pretty much at 35, sometimes at 28, for most of the shots, so I could get, you know, that nice wide and get all that cool parallax as I was moving around the model. And it's also easier to stabilize because the ground was really uneven. Amazingly, I did not fall, models did not fall, nothing was ruined, it was fantastic. I also used a monopod and went handheld a little bit and then did some post stabilization. You know, it went pretty flawlessly. We got beautiful shots. Again, I loved the FX3. I did opt to shoot this in S-Cinetone. It just came out really beautifully. All the models were wonderfully collaborative. They gave me ideas. After we'd kind of done the original thing, it was like, okay, you know, maybe let's walk as a group. Let's sit down as a group. Let's do some traditional Ukrainian dances. You know, I had the one model and, you know, she was like, oh, let me run up the hill or like the little mound and do a twirl. And like that, one of my favorite shots of the day. She also had that really creative idea of like, there were those nice yellow flowers. And since Ukraine, one of their flag colors is yellow, you know, she went and, you know, picked one of those flowers. I love that shot. One of the most beautiful shots of the entire day. But everybody was just so beautiful to work with. So kind, you know, it cracked me up because they were like, you know, getting goofy and stuff, and they were apologizing to me, and, you know, and I'm like, I'm the one who like set this whole shoot up. I'm the one who like asked for this. I sort of knew what I was getting into. And so I just, you know, it was fun. It was so much fun. You know, all these models that I worked with, I consider them friends now. It's like, if you shoot with me, you're my friend now. It's just how I work. So that's all for this one, guys. I hope you found this helpful. If you have any questions about the shoot, definitely leave those in the comments and I will answer them. And I look forward to seeing all of you again. Have a great one, and remember, create films fearlessly.